Good evening. This is Just the News. I'm Faye D'Souza. Let's get straight to our stories for this evening. On Sunday night in Goa, 4 men dressed as policemen beat up boys who were hanging out with some girls. They dragged those girls away and raped them on a beach. Those girls were 14 years old. The incident took place 30 kilometers outside of the capital of Goa on Benolim Beach. Today, the Chief Minister of Goa, speaking on the floor of the House, blamed the parents of those girls for this heinous crime. He said the parents should not allow children to be out so late. Remember, the Chief Minister of Goa, Mr. Pramod Sawant, is also the Home Minister of Goa, which means the police report to him and he is responsible for law and order in the state. Sawant basically, in a debate calling the attention of the House, said, and I quote, "When 14-year-olds stay on the beach the whole night, parents need to introspect. Just because children don't listen, we cannot put the responsibility on government and police." Mr. Sawant also said, we directly blame the police, but I want to point out that of the 10 youth who were out on the beach for a party, 4 stayed on the beach and the remaining 6 went home. His remarks have now drawn widespread criticism because it is the responsibility of the state police to keep the beaches safe. Most people in opposition and civil society have questioned if he's shirking responsibility and blaming victims. In Dhanbad in Jharkhand, yesterday, a district judge was killed when he was out for his morning jog when he was hit by an auto rickshaw. Today, the CCTV visuals have surfaced showing the judge was jogging around 5 in the morning on a completely deserted stretch of road. The auto took a turn and absolutely aimed for him. It rammed into him and then drove away, showing that this may not have been an accident, but was in fact a deliberate murder hit and run. According to the police, the driver of the auto rickshaw has been arrested along with an associate. The Jharkhand High Court has reacted sharply to allegations of delay in police action. The judge's family alleges that the police delayed in changing the case from accident to murder. As this particular killing generated shock and anger and rage, the Chief Justice of India, Ramana, has said that he has spoken to the Jharkhand High Court and asserted that the Supreme Court is aware of the case and they will take care. Judge Anand has been the one who was killed, had been handling many cases of mafia killings in Dhanbad town, recently rejected the bail requests of 2 gangsters, and the murder case of Rananjay Singh, the close aide of MLA Sanjeev Singh, was also pending before his court. An update on what happened in Parliament today. The Union Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has stated before Parliament in response to a question in Rajya Sabha that, and I quote, "No deaths due to manual scavenging have been reported in the last 5 years." Now, this is completely in contrary to what the government had said in February this year, when the government then told Lok Sabha that 340 people died of cleaning sewers and septic tanks over the last 5 years. Now, remember, when this number came out of 340 from across the country, there was widespread outrage because the number is far too low in comparison to the deaths that are reported on an annual basis. But for the same government to turn around a little later in the same year and say that there have been no deaths at all is rather shocking. The information, it also informed till today that the National Safai Karmachari Finance Development Corporation has been funded with 192 crore rupees, but 211 crore rupees have been utilized, including the unspent balance from the previous year. The ministry has also revealed that till date, around 66,692 manual scavengers have been identified across the country. The Lok Sabha Speaker on Thursday said that he is saddened over the manner in which the opposition continues to protest in the House day after day while seeking an adjournment motion to discuss the Pegasus snooping case. He warned of strict action against the habitual offenders. At least 9 Congress members tore placards with protest messages on them and threw them in the Lok Sabha on Wednesday. One unidentified lawmaker blew a whistle in Rajya Sabha as the opposition continued to protest regular business and demanded conversations and debates, structured debates on the Pegasus snooping row and the 3 farm laws. The government has not conceded these requests so far. According to ANI, the Nainital High Court yesterday reprimanded the Uttarakhand government for not following COVID SOPs at tourist hotspots. The court has also banned the Char Dham Yatra until the 18th of August. Now remember, the Uttarakhand government on the 28th of June moved to Supreme Court, challenging the High Court order staying this Yatra and reversing the state's decision to open it partially in 3 districts. Following this, the Uttarakhand High Court has once again extended and reiterated its stay on the Yatra and now said the Yatra will be stayed until the 18th of August. The High Court had put the government's decision on hold in view of the COVID-19 pandemic and the poor health preparedness of the state government. Now, in education, the central government today approved a 27% quota for the OBC or other backward caste and a 10% quota for the economically weaker section in the All India seats of state-run medical and dental colleges. Now, centrally funded institutions like AIIMS and JIPMER already have this provision. According to the government, this extension of quota to state-run colleges will benefit 1,500 OBC students in MBBS and 2,500 postgraduate students every year. The Maharashtra cabinet yesterday passed an ordinance reducing fees in all schools by 15%. The decision was taken because of COVID. Education Minister Varsha Gaikwad has said the government has taken steps following demands from parents, as most of the teaching now for the last 1 year has been online. The order will be implemented in this academic year. Maharashtra government will also set up a committee to study the issue of fees being charged by colleges as well. An update on the COVID numbers right now. India recorded 43,509 COVID cases, 634 deaths in the last 24 hours. That is an increase of 145 cases from the previous day. 2 days ago, India reported, remember, less than 30,000 cases in the day, and we were quite happy, and now it's crossed 40,000 cases for 2 days in a row. Kerala's numbers, like I keep telling you, remain a cause for concern. The state has reported over 22,000 cases for the 3rd day in a row. 50% of the cases from the whole country are currently coming out of Kerala. The state has ordered a complete lockdown on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. The centre, meanwhile, has decided to rush a 6-member team to the state government, to the state to help and assist with the problems there. The Health Minister, Mansukh Mandavia, tweeted that a large number of COVID cases are being reported in Kerala. The team will aid the state's ongoing effort in COVID management. Kerala's weekend lockdown was announced after the Supreme Court said that the 3-day relaxation that it had ordered for Eid last week was wholly uncalled for. According to the findings of the Sero survey by the Indian Council for Medical Research done between June 14th and July 6th, at least 2/3 of the population that has been surveyed across 11 states are found to have developed coronavirus antibodies. So let me just put a pin in that. So a Sero survey is basically tests that are done for a large number of people in the population to see how many of us might have been infected with COVID and not known about it. So how many of us have antibodies in our system? If you have antibodies in the system, the likelihood that you will get COVID and be very sick seems to be lower. Now, we've got some good news on that front. States like Madhya Pradesh, for example, have 79% seroprevalence, where the lowest is Kerala with 44%. Assam is at 50%, Maharashtra is at 58%. The higher the better, really. The data was shared by the Union Health Ministry yesterday. In the meantime, the United States of America has pledged, in an attempt of strengthening ties, $25 million to India's vaccination drive. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who was visiting India, announced during a press conference, which he held along with India's External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, he said, and I quote, US contributed more than $200 million worth of COVID-19 assistance. I am pleased to announce that the US government will send an additional $25 million to support vaccination efforts across India, end quote. Let's take a look now at news coming in from across the world. Israeli authorities have conducted an inspection at the NSO group offices. There's been a raid. The Israeli government has raided the NSO offices. This comes after allegations from across the globe of the misuse of the Pegasus spyware that is manufactured and sold by this organization across the world. In a statement, the cybersecurity firm welcomed the inspection and said that it is working in full transparency with the Israeli authorities. NSO spokesperson said, and I quote, We are confident that this inspection will prove the facts as declared repeatedly by the company against false allegations made against us in recent media attacks." End quote. Major UAE airlines Emirates and Etihad have extended their suspension on flights from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka to Dubai due to the surge in COVID cases in India. According to ANI, Emirates has suspended flight operations until the 7th of August. Etihad has extended its suspension until the 2nd of August. Well, news from the world of sports and mostly updates from the Olympics. We have some good news and some bad news as well. Indian star boxer Mary Kom was eliminated after she lost her bout to Colombia's Ingrid Valencia after a split decision in the women's fly round of 16. Mary Kom, the six-time world champion, lost the round of 16 bout by the barest of margins at 3-2. Mary Kom had won the London Olympics bronze medal back in 2012. Satish Kumar, India's first ever heavyweight boxer, has qualified for the Olympics, has reached the quarterfinals in the men's 91 kg category at the Tokyo Games. The 32-year-old defeated Jamaica's Ricardo Brown 4-1 in the round of 16 on Thursday. Satish Kumar will now face off against Uzbekistan's contender in the quarterfinal on the 1st of August. We wish him good luck. Indian archer Atanu defeated two-time Olympic champion Jin-Hyek of South Korea to reach the pre-quarters, the last 16 at the Tokyo Games. Atanu will now compete against Japan's contender for the round of 16 on Saturday. In hockey, men's hockey, India defeated Argentina 3-1 in their fourth Pool A match to reach the quarterfinals of the Olympics. Harmanpreet Singh, Vivek Sagar Prasad and Varun Kumar scored a goal each for India. Badminton world champion PV Sindhu has reached the quarterfinals of the Olympics women's singles event. She defeated world number 12 player of Denmark, the round of 16. And in cricket, Sri Lanka defeated India by 4 wickets in the last over in the second T20 at Colombo to level the three-match series at 1-1. This is Sri Lanka's first victory against India in their last 5 T20 matches. Today at 8 p.m. will be the last match, the final one of these three-match series. And one piece of positive news before we leave you for today. Gujarat's Dholavira, the Harappan-era metropolis, has been listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. This is not a WhatsApp forward. This is for real. The city on Tuesday was named the 40th Indian site on UNESCO's World Heritage list. Well, that brings us to a wrap on this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, leave us comments on how we can improve this offering for you. And as always, here is your quiz question for today. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced aid from US to India for our vaccination drive. How much money are they giving the Indian government to help with the vaccination drive? Put the answer in the comments section. Remember to tell your friends and family that we do put out the news every day without any opinion whatsoever, any noise, any shouting. There's no adulteration of this news. We just tell you what's going on. It would be lovely if you could share this video with people you think would be interested in it. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.